has put Canada in the doldrums that it's in, and is also responsible for the state of your country, which is dreadful. And it's I don't know if you guys in the UK understand how sad it is for us in Canada and in the United States to watch what you're doing to yourself. I mean, the UK is a great country. When I go there, I go to Oxford, I go to Cambridge, to these remarkable places in London, see your unbelievable deep history, understand how much the world owes the UK in terms of, say, the establishment of common law and decent government everywhere, including places like India. We owe the UK such an immense debt. And to watch you guys like spiral yourselves into the ground for this idiot, weak political correctness that's gone so far that you can allow your working class women to be raped en masse sadistically and say nothing about it and gaslight people who are telling the truth. It's so sickening. It's so demoralizing. It's almost unspeakable. We all pray, hope and pray here in Canada and the US that you get your act together and grow some spine again and put your damn country back together and stand up to these bloody psychopathic bullies and the woke green mob. Because it would be a dreadful shame to lose you.
Don't fucking talk over.
Excuse me?
You need to get your supervisor
Okay,
here
let's
now.
Excuse me?
I'm trying to have a conversation.
You're
with you,
escalating.
and you
You're
are not even
escalating.
having a regular
You're escalating.
conversation. You're standing here and speaking over
This lady is... I don't understand what's going on.
Hey, do you guys want to be educated?
I'm talking to him.
And I'm talking to you.
Is he your superior?
No. So listen, if you guys want to come in here and act like you're going to educate us, I'm going to educate you real quick. Under NRS 203-119, you cannot come in here and create a disturbance.
That we never did.
Cool. They're saying that you're filming over people and looking at
Well, that's their what they're saying.
Shut up.
So that's definitely what thunder sounds like. I just wonder what Glober's crying would sound like in there. You know what I'm talking about?
My food contains glucose, the fuel that feeds the trillions of healthy cells in my body. But that glucose also feeds something else. Zombie cells. Old, damaged cells that have lingered beyond their useful life. By spewing toxic sludge, these zombies infect other healthy cells, speeding up the aging process. Everything from hair loss and wrinkles to the onset of arthritis, cancer, and dementia. But what scientists have realized is that when we fast and cut off the supply of glucose, that zombie army is starved of energy, which saps them of their power. When food is plentiful, our body stores excess energy in the form of fat, under the skin and around the internal organs. When food is scarce, that fat is sent to the liver, where it's turned into an alternative fuel source called a ketone. And it's these ketones which provide the emergency power source, not only for our bodies, but also our brains. Remember those toxic zombie cells aging my body? Well, they're not the only things getting dealt with. Even inside my healthy cells, there's wear and tear. But scientists think that without food to process, those cells can switch into repair mode, fixing damage, cleaning up garbage, nipping any problems in the bud.
So I go to meet the owner of a major British haulage company. He explained to me how in Calais, people are breaking into his lorries, cutting the roof with knives, etc. Lorry comes back one day to the depot. They find an illegal migrant on board. They call the authorities, and they're fined £10,000 for doing the right thing. I think the bloke should have got a reward. What do you think?
Help me get this out. Share, share, share. What you're seeing is the sun leaving New Zealand and the sun coming to the UK at the same time, live on TikTok, and I'm going to show you how this works. This is Gleason's map. This is New Zealand right here. You see? Australia, Europe, the UK. Pay attention. I'm going to show you how the sun works. This is New Zealand. The UK is over here. This is Mr. Sun right here. Boop. We have North America, we have South America, Australia, and Africa's over here. And the white ring that goes around us is Antarctica. You see our sun moving? You barely see moon right here. But the sun is on the equator, same with moon, and it's going around our home, east to west, like it's done since the beginning of time. The dark side, the shaded side, represents night. And there's 3 lines right here. You have your summer solstice, you have your equator, and you have your winter solstice. The sun, as it travels around our home, will also come in for the summer solstice and goes back out for the winter solstice, which is why the birds fly south for the winter. This map
called If You Want to Be Rich and Happy, Don't Go to School. Because schools teach you things to be not successful. And the biggest one is they punish you for making mistakes. Well, a baby cannot learn to walk unless a baby falls down. You can't ride a bicycle without falling off. But if a kid went to school to learn how to walk, a baby, they'd never walk because they'd punish it. Oh, you fell. Bad, bro. Bad kid, bad kid. You fall off your bike. Bad, bad, bad. And most school teachers are poor because they're afraid of making mistakes. Yeah, I'm not really religious, but it seems to me that God created us to learn by making mistakes.
Here, the Earth is spinning on its axis 1,000 miles an hour. Like if I was God spinning a basketball 1,000 miles an hour. And at the same time it's doing that, the Earth is going in orbit around the sun. At guess what rate of speed? 66,000 miles an hour. 66,000 miles an hour, 1,000 miles an hour. And on top of that, the whole solar system's going through the Milky Way galaxy. At guess what rate of speed? 400,000 miles an hour. 400,000 miles an hour, 66,000 miles an hour, and 1,000 miles an hour. And to top it all off, as that's happening, the whole Milky Way galaxy is tearing through the universe. At guess what rate of speed? 2.2 million miles an hour. And that, officer, is why I failed to walk a straight line, as you requested a few moments ago.
Can I blow your mind right now? Okay. If the center of the Earth is hot, why is the bottom of the ocean cold? Right? Let that sink in. So you're closer to the source of the Earth's heat, but the water is colder. It doesn't make sense. So Chris and I were talking about this because we were flying to see our sister last summer, and we're going over the ocean. And I said, make it make sense, Chris. Scientists expect us to believe that the center of the Earth is 100% pure lava, which is liquid fire. You can look this up. So shouldn't the bottom of the ocean be boiling water? Well, it's not. It's cold water. So there's only one explanation for this. There's only one explanation, and that is that the center of the Earth is actually frozen. And if this is a hard thing to believe, you just have to look to the evidence. And who gives us the evidence? The same scientists that try to tell us that the center of the Earth is hot. Okay, so if you really want to go down this rabbit hole with me, ask yourself why 50% of scientists say that the dinosaurs were killed by the Ice Age, and the other 50% say it was because of volcanic eruptions. Well, if the center of the Earth is frozen, what comes out of a volcano? I think you know where I'm going with this.
Talk to a doctor about my general health ever again. If I break my arm, I'm going to go see a doctor. If I need surgery, I'm going to go see a doctor. My general health, never again. None of them know what they're talking about. They're all full of shit. All they know is to put you on pills and put you on medicine. That's all they know. None of these doctors know anything about human biology. Everything they've learned is about medicine. Right? Getting you on medication. Yeah, man. Oh, this feels weird? Take this medication. Oh, that doesn't feel right? Take this medication. Finally, you're on 3-4 different medications that have 10 different side effects and mess you up in 10 different ways. And that's what I was feeling. I'm on no medication now. Thyroid, I was on cholesterol, and I was on high blood pressure medicine. And now I'm on none of that. And my blood work has never been better. I've never felt better. And, you know, I am not the same person I was a year and a half ago.
Do you feel like you saved your life?
100%.
Yeah.
If you have a pet, check out this video because this retired veterinarian was sick and tired of people getting screwed over. And he posts this video, and I think it's interesting. Check it out.
Pet industry is a total scam, and most dog owners don't realize this until it's too late. After 32 years as a veterinarian, I'm done seeing pet owners waste money on unnecessary treatments, while the real solutions can sometimes be simple and affordable. Raw honey is packed with antibacterial and antifungal properties that support wound healing, digestion, and allergy relief. It's a natural immune booster that can help soothe sore throats and upset stomachs. But instead of recommending this, they sell overpriced medications that offer the same benefits. Apples are one of the best natural ways to clean your dog's teeth and freshen their breath. The crunchiness helps remove plaque and tartar buildup. But instead of telling you this, vets push expensive dental treats and unnecessary procedure. Chamomile tea is an incredible natural remedy for anxiety, digestive issues, and skin irritations. It helps calm nervous dogs, soothes an upset stomach, and even reduces inflammation when applied topically. Yet pet care companies promote chemical-laden medications and artificial calming aids that do the opposite. Collagen is another thing they'll never tell you about. As dogs age, their natural collagen levels drop, leading to stiff joints and a dull coat. That's why I recommend adding collagen drops to their meals as early as possible to increase the chances of them living longer.
So there you go. There's some tips for your dog from a veterinarian, not from me. So this is his opinion. I love you all. Check out my website for more information.
Video? No. Pull that video up because it's one of my favorites.
There will come opportunities in life, you know, when they're presented to you, in front of you. It's just a matter of whether you're not prepared to take advantage of the opportunity. But you got to develop that resilience within you. Life is not about how much you succeed. It's about what happens when you fail, right? So life is, you could look at like, man, what's been inspiring for me? If you said, oh, Tom, what are the greatest wins? I'd be like, the wins, those are, yeah. You know, let's talk about the losses. Those are the ones that really, you know, made me who I am. And you know, as you go through life, and we're all adults, things happen in life that you don't want to have happen. Whether you lose a game or whether things don't go well at work or something with your child, or, you know, there's a lot of things that come up in our personal and professional lives that just don't go the way we want. And how do you deal with it? You deal with class and integrity and with courage and with resilience, and you're able to share emotion with people, and do you have other people in your life that can help you through those things? And I think, like I said, my blessing is I've had people that go through those things with me. And, you know, they always say double the pleasure and divide the pain, and that's what relationships are all about. When you care for those people and when you love them and when you give to them, they give back. And, you know, that's where the reward comes.
Sunglasses are not good for eyes. You see, your eyes are an extension of your brain. If we go outside on a hot sunny day, the strength of the sun is being monitored by the eyes and the message is sent to the brain. And when the sun is very hot and very strong, it gives a message to the skin to close up little receptor sites so you don't burn so easily. But if you go out into hot sun with sunglasses on, you can burn a lot easier because your brain didn't get the message that the sun's hot to close the little receptor sites.
There's a reason why a shadow can never, ever be smaller than the object cast by the light. So the shadow can't be smaller than the object that's being lit in casting the shadow. If you can see the shadow down there, you could measure that shadow, and that shadow is not smaller than the object. It's a little bit bigger. A shadow can never get smaller, all right? Now, as you can see, it gets bigger the further back the light source goes. And this is just the way shadows work, all right? It's just how shadows work. You can't get them to do anything else because it's not the way they work. So when people tell me, oh, well, then explain the eclipse if the Earth is flat. Well, the eclipse has nothing to do with the moon blocking the sun, obviously, because on the last eclipse, the shadow that we got was 130 miles wide, and the moon is over 2,000 miles wide. You understand the problem? If a shadow can't be smaller, then it should be a 2,000-mile shadow. It should have covered the entire United States, not a tiny little slit. What's actually happening is something called the lunar nodes. Those are responsible for the eclipses. And I've made videos explaining what the lunar nodes are. The lunar nodes are very important to understand. They go back to the ancient days, Ratu and Ketu. And it's important to understand it. I highly recommend you look into this idea because, again, the shadow of the moon does not prove anything about a globe. Nothing. Zero. Has nothing to do with blocking the sun at all. So, that being said, I love you all. This is my opinion based on how shadows work. Hopefully you go to my website. I just wrote a book, over hundreds and hundreds of flat earth proofs. You'll only find it on my website, withthesun33.com. It's called Deception in the Modern Age. I love you all.
It doesn't take long to be from 17 to being 57. 40 years just goes like that. You know, now I understand about 90-year-old people who feel like teenagers, you know, because nothing changes. It's just the body that changes.
Yeah.
The soul in the body is there at birth and is there at death, and the only thing that's changed is the bodily condition. So, you know, all this stuff about where, you know, age groups fit or don't fit, or where the music belonging to age groups fits or doesn't fit, is stupid. It's all just in somebody's concept, and all they do is limit the potential of the marketplace or the audience.
Matrix look like? Let me show you. Now, despite what you might be thinking, these two circles are not equal. I repeat, these two circles are not equal. One is in fact larger than the other. What I need you to do is determine which one that is. Please raise your hand if you believe the blue circle is larger than the red. All right? Please raise your hand if you believe the red circle is larger than the blue. All right, very good. Now, before I said anything about these two circles, what was your first instinct? Equal, right? Because they look equal. And the reason why they look equal is because, in fact, they are equal. These two circles are identical. Yet I got just about every one of you to raise your hand and say that they're not. So what do we learn? That you can be manipulated like that to believe in something that goes against your natural instincts. Just imagine as a child you're taught that the blue circle is larger than the red. If you say it enough times, you convince yourself that's the truth. If you're told the lie enough times, it becomes part of your reality. And if enough people are taught that lie, that the blue circle is larger than the red, well, now it becomes part of the culture. And if that culture then passes that misinformation along to the next generation, well, now it becomes tradition.
Isn't it crazy that the sun is 100 times bigger than the earth, and the heat and the light from the sun travel 93 million miles all the way to the earth, and at the equator it's scorching hot, yet only 4,000 miles away at the poles it's freezing? Like, that makes sense.
If gravity is real, why do helium balloons go up instead of down? They tell us gravity pulls everything toward the center of the earth. But if that's true, why do balloons, smoke, and even bubbles in water rise? They say gravity is a fundamental force, but here's something crazy. It's never been directly measured. Gravity is supposed to be a force that makes mass attract mass. But have you ever seen a large object pull a smaller one toward it? Scientists have tried to prove it, but every test fails. Instead, what we actually observe is density and buoyancy at work. Objects don't fall because of some invisible force. They fall because they are denser than the air around them. A rock sinks in water because it's heavier than water. A balloon rises because it's lighter than air. No magic force needed. NASA says astronauts float because of zero gravity. But why do they train underwater, and why do some space videos show bubbles? Still think gravity is real? Let's question everything. Follow for more. This is for entertainment purposes.
If there were a firmament that was getting lower to the ground as you went south beyond the Antarctic shoreline, planes would have to fly lower. That is something that would just make sense on the biblical Earth model. And when you look into what actually happens in Antarctica, you find out that, wait a minute, planes do actually fly lower. How much lower? Well, a lot lower. When you look at their elevation, it's around 11,000 feet in the Antarctic region. When you go to the Arctic, it should be exactly the same, because they say we live on a globe and the south and the north are exactly the same. However, they're flying at 29,000 feet, far higher, because they don't have to worry about a barrier. And it's not some barrier we're making up. There is footage of this barrier. We've shared it before. There are declassified documents that speak of it. The Encyclopedia Britannica talks about a dome-like structure being around 13,000 feet beyond the 80th south parallel. I used to think there could be another explanation for that. However, there might be some truth to those numbers given that they're flying that low in Antarctica. What do you guys think? Let us know. I think this is fascinating.
This rat is perfectly healthy. Put him in a vat of water and he finds his way to safety every time.
5.2.
Now, look at this guy. What he's been eating is the equivalent of a North American diet, complete with all the fats and sugars we regularly consume. He doesn't know where to go. His brain has been damaged.
These rats were totally normal, and then they turned into demented animals. They don't remember their learning after even a day. And as the challenge gets harder and harder, they fail more and more, just like a human with Alzheimer's disease.
36.2.
In this lab, the belief now is that Alzheimer's is really diabetes of the brain, linked to insulin levels, which can be affected by too much sugar.
So we're here at lunch, and we're talking about species that have gone extinct. We have dinosaurs, woolly mammoth, the saber-toothed cat, and straight white families in television ads.
School punishes the exact skills that make people successful. In school, questioning the system gets you in trouble. Taking risks is discouraged. Thinking differently gets marked as wrong. But in the real world, the most successful people question everything, take risks, and think differently. School teaches you to obey. Success requires you to challenge. School rewards memorization. The real world rewards creative problem solving. School teaches you to wait your turn. Winners don't wait. If you want to succeed, you need to unlearn the school mindset.
Go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
When you said that just now, did it sound stupid to you? Kind of.